live.
If you have any questions about the program or to arrange a consultation, call
Live. Let's see here.
595-7779.
Adjust that right there.
888-595-7779. Now, today's edition of The Real Estate Show.
And hello, South Florida. Welcome to another live edition of The Real Estate Show, South Florida's #1 program about real estate, America's longest running daily radio show about real estate, and I think the fastest moving show about real estate, from constant change going on in the marketplace, the rapid updates of what's going on both in the real estate market, in the stimulus market, and everything else. So as you know, each week we start off the week with our agenda, what it is that we're going to be talking about throughout the week. And even that can change, right? Because as you know, the market is, or as they were saying before, the situation on the ground is fluid. But we've got it covered. We've got you covered. And for now 21 years, the Real Estate Show has been the source for all of the information for real estate investors and home buyers alike. If it's about real estate, if you need to know about real estate, then tune it in. We are here live Monday through Friday. That's 5 days a week for the last 21 years. We are here from 8 until 8:30 in the evening. That's Eastern time. So make the conversion wherever you are. We have listeners from coast to coast, whether it be Florida, West Coast to the East Coast, and also from the United States, from California to New York, down to Florida, and all points in between. We've got you covered. Anyway, as you know, Mondays is our agenda, and we set out the theme here. We were talking about a very interesting little concept. I threw a little bit of a curveball out there to you. Hey there, Marianne, out there on our Facebook feed. We set up a question, and the question really was, at the end of our lives, when we lay our heads down for the last time, we're all given a beautiful tombstone, and the tombstone has the date that we were born and the date that we last took our breath. And then there's a dash in between. And I said, what's your dash going to represent? And it's a deep question, but it's an important question because a lot of people look to real estate as a new form of, or an additional form, or maybe even as a replacement form of income. And the income is all about trying to set you free to be able to do the things in life that you want to do. And so I wanted to carry that question about what does your dash mean? And I'm going to bring in today, as I often have on my Thursday evenings, my very special guest, my business partner, Don Martin. And Don, are you on with us?
I'm here, buddy. How are you?
All right. Don today, he is out on assignment, and he's expanding his dash as we speak. Tell our audience where you are.
I am in Virginia. I live full time in Pennsylvania, but I'm in Virginia, and we are just developing business all over the place, and we just decided to go to Virginia and do some business. But we have a new RV, so we figured we'd bring the RV down here. So I'm with you guys on the show from the RV park in Virginia Beach, Virginia.
See that? From the trailer parks of America to the mansions of America, from the fixed homes to the ones on the wheels. But here's an example of Don literally living the dash, making the most of the dash, making the most of the situation, right? We're in a situation where many people are sort of in this suspended animation right now in this market. It might be because of the employment situation. It might be because of their individual industry situation. But there's a lot of people that are sort of frozen in motion, wondering what next to do. On the other side, though, there are people who have not sat still. In fact, who have grown their business. And, Don, you and I were talking about this earlier in the week. There are some major business trends going on, and they were happening even before the pandemic. The pandemic just brought these trends into focus.
It's for certain industries and certain aspects, it actually sped the processes up.
It did speed it up.
prepared, and if they were ready for it, if they were prepared for it, they really, got their results that they were looking for. In fact, when it came down to even in the real estate world, a lot of you probably noticed that the real estate market is the best it's been in a long time. If people are trying to sell real estate right now, it is by far a seller's market, and it's just incredible how when things happen and when the industries that are positioned to pivot, and they're ready to pivot, when they take massive advantage of that, and if you're positioned right, you can get 5 years worth of success and progress done in a matter of 3 to 5 months, and that's exactly what happened in many industries, real estate being one of them.
It is so true. And if you were lined up in this, because here's the deal, like we mentioned before, this has been going on before the pandemic. And let me just give an example. We've been, testimony to big industry shifts. The Airbnb, right? Airbnb became the world's largest, hospitality company, and it doesn't own a single hotel or house. You've got Uber, right? That is now the largest transportation company in automobiles, and it doesn't own a single automobile. And think about how that helps them to adjust when the economy takes these left turns all of a sudden, no pun intended. But right now, business is also going through a major shift, from big box retailers and strip malls and everything has been going over to sort of the Amazon style, the internet. It went from, I'm going to steal your term that you used this week. It's going from brick and mortar to click and order.
Yeah, you're exactly right. And it's incredible because, it was already trending in that direction. So for all of those that are on here that have been investing in real estate and also seeing what's happening from a real estate perspective, the trends that are fueling that are things like online shopping is taking over. Now it's amazing. And here's a statistic I heard, Eric, and this is an absolutely revolutionary thing. They were expecting, the internet has been growing, and now, Cyber Monday does more business than Black Friday does, and a lot of people aren't aware of that. And obviously that's coming up rather soon in this season. But what's incredible is that affects all industries, particularly real estate. When you think about it, though, this is what they said. In the last 5 months, the internet growth and how much people are spending commerce-wise online is hit what was projected for 5 years from now. In 5 months, that total sales on the internet hit the projected amount that was supposed to happen in 5 years. So if you can find yourself in the real estate world and position yourself right with the right kind of real estate for with that shifting trend, because it's not going to stop. All it did was speed up. This crazy world that we're living in is just a catalyst to what's going on. That's number one. But also number two, we're all entrepreneurs. Entrepreneurs always want to find themselves positioned in the right place at the right time. Yes, with real estate, but also trending businesses that can create cash flow to help us invest better into real estate. Because a lot of times you need the cash flow to be able to invest in your real estate. So finding those trends are really powerful, and that's what we've been able to join up with our other projects, Eric, too. So it's just really unique time in history, and where people are prepared, they can really take full advantage of it.
That's right. And because of technology, it allows sort of the everyday person to be able to do what only big companies did before. Don, I read a book a while ago, and I absolutely loved the title. And I use this title now as sort of a motto, because here is the truth of the fact. It used to be that the Walmarts could crush all the other, local area businesses. But today, it's not the big that eat the small. It's the fast that eat the slow. And because we are, one-on-one, we have relationships which are a lot stronger than these big boxes have with our local community. The local community and people nowadays, when they're looking to make buying decisions, they're looking for social proof. They're looking for references and recommendations. And so nowadays, it's really all about the people who have the influence. So if you have a circle of people that you have influence. You have an automatic market. And for probably your entire life, you've recommended movies, you've recommended restaurants, you recommended, all sorts of things. And how much did you get paid for it? Zero. Today, thanks to technology, you can recommend things and participate, get tagged on that sale and get tagged and be able to participate, even if it's little chunks, but, inch by inch, a yard is a cinch. And all you see is this accumulating volume behind. And that's why you see and hear about these YouTube millionaires and these Facebook millionaires and all these people. All they're doing is sharing their experience and becoming good social proof.
That's exactly right. And it's a dynamic thing. It's an incredible situation for people. And, it's funny. A lot of people aren't aware. And it's interesting. A lot of people think when markets are great is when companies become really successful. But when markets contract, entrepreneurs that pivot and entrepreneurs that position themselves in the front of a trend that is a result of a challenge. See, remember, a great entrepreneur is someone who is a great solution provider. That's all they are. And when you think about the real estate world, hey, if you provide people great quality housing, or a great quality piece of property that they can run their business out of, you're going to win, And when you talk about anything with to do with business, you can provide people a solution in challenging times. That's where the biggest companies, a lot of the largest companies in history started in a market contraction, because that's when people need more help. Companies can succeed because when they offer solutions, they can help people when people need more help. And in situations like this, people need more help. So that's the bottom line.
That is the bottom line. And so, you and I have been talking about different ways that how can we help more people out there. My motto, if you've ever been on our website, is to help more deserving families to have affordable homes. And there's two sides to that coin, right? There's the side that there's the investor that provides financing, that provides seed capital, that provides the opening. Then there are the deserving families that need sometimes they need their credit fixed. Sometimes they just need a little push, maybe a little side gig. That's the other thing we didn't talk about. The big giant trend is that people, especially now after this big pandemic, and where some people were cut off from income literally overnight without warning, and they have suddenly realized that what was before perceived as job security isn't. And that more and more people and the economy, and this is another trend that isn't going to stop, is that more and more people are doing, what they used to call moonlighting, or a side job, or, a second part-time, or what is now really being known as the gig economy. You got to have another gig, another source of income. So Don and I have been talking about doing a little 4-part series to help real estate investors that think that there's an obstacle, why they're not getting started. And usually it's because either they don't have enough savings or they don't have enough income. And some people it's because they don't have credit. We're gonna dispel and show you how to fix that problem in our little 4-part series that we're gonna do on Thursday nights. And so if anyone is interested in participating, and it doesn't matter what business you're in, because between Don's vast experience building a business, my experience building businesses, we're going to be able to take, I don't care whether you're a hairdresser or whether you're a school teacher. I don't care whether you're already an entrepreneur or you have entrepreneurial dreams. What I want you to do is I want you to go to automaticlandlord.com. That's automaticlandlord.com, and just say, I want to join. Just sign me up, and then let us know. You'll give us your email, and we'll send you the information on how you're going to participate. These are going to be Zoom classes, so you don't have to worry about social distancing. You don't have to worry about traveling. And we're going to do these following our show each Thursday over the next 4 weeks. So again, Automatic Landlord, say 4-part series, and count me in. Don, we're going to take a quick break, hear a few words from our sponsors, but don't go away. And out there, you listeners, don't you go away. You're listening to The Real Estate Show. My name is Eric Willner, and I will be right back.
Hey, listeners.
So, hey, everybody.
Guru, and they'll tell you to get a team of virtual assistants to handle all your back office and administrative tasks associated with buying and selling real estate.
Open door.
Breast is that team. They handle everything.
You guys hopefully heard yesterday's show, and there was some major
business and real estate
interest
solutions. It's a staff of highly trained and knowledgeable virtual assistants ready to help you to be successful. There isn't a better.
We'll talk about this when we come back. Some of the big deals that were announced.
Go to BressVA. That's BRESSVA.com to see what Breast can do for you.
Today's real estate market is full of questions. Eric Willner and Capital One Group.
So it looks like northern Florida got hit pretty good with the storms. Northern Florida, Louisiana. I was still seeing that they got something like 5 feet of flooding between the stationary rain. The storm sort of stalled and went slow. So make sure that you say a prayer for your brothers up in the Panhandle and Northern Gulf area.
Call today for your no obligation consultation.
But the market is definitely teed up, and hopefully you will look at that as an opportunity that you don't want to miss. All these little comments, so that you don't want to miss in the upcoming real estate market. We know that we're going to get a lot more definition after the November elections about which way it goes, but I still feel that we've got a solid real estate market, and my expectation is that there's going to be a spike once they remove the artificial support, but there's a strong market on the other side of that, and I don't know that will last a very long time.
Real Estate Show, and give us a thumbs up.
So it looks like we're getting ready to come back.
Brought to you by Capital One Group LLC in Boca Raton with your host, Eric Willner. If you have any questions about the broadcast, call toll-free 888-595-7779. That's 888-595-7779. Now back to today's show.
Under the comments, and welcome back. For those of you just joining us, you are listening to The Real Estate Show, South Florida's #1 program about real estate, America's longest running daily radio show about real estate. And I'm here on this Thursday evening about the money. We've been talking about the economics of what's going on right now, and it's very important in the real estate market. And then Brian on our Facebook was just asking, where do you enter our name on the website to get in on the seminars? And Don and I were just talking about a 4-part series. And what we want entrepreneurs. Maybe you already are an entrepreneur. Maybe you want to be an entrepreneur. You want to get into the gig system. We're going to talk about how to parlay that into something better, taking advantage of what's happening in the pandemic. I'm going to tell you that many businesses are accelerating. The technology is thrusting businesses to the forefront. You know, Don, yesterday on our midweek report, I was talking about some factors, which I think are some also major factors going on, and they're headlines that I'll bet you're not hearing in the mainstream media, which is so busy with the election and the protests and the pandemic, and negative news sells. The interesting positive side doesn't. But let me tell you, I talked about 3 big factors yesterday. And just think about how one of these, at least one of these, I think is going to touch your business out there as well. Number one, I said that the Fed yesterday came out and announced that they were holding interest rates as they are right now, which, by the way, are at basically zero. And the bank-to-bank rate is virtually zero. And they said that they're going to keep it the same at least for another year. And, I spent a lot more time on this in our show on Wednesday because that's our midweek report as to what that really means. In a nutshell, what the Fed is really telling you, number one, is that the economy isn't quite ready for us to raise the interest rates, number one. But really a bigger sign is that because there's a lack of inventory in the real estate market, because there is, so many people already have very low interest rates. There's not much else, if you refinance from a 3% to a 2%, the savings aren't that big, and a lot of people are not taking advantage of that right away. First of all, because there's the uncertainty in the job market. Second of all, because they haven't heard enough about whether it makes sense in their own particular situation. So what it's telling you in a sort of a secondary way is that the demand for money isn't so great that the supply and demand would drive the cost or the interest rate up. That's really good news for entrepreneurs right now. That means the cost of money is going to stay low for the foreseeable future. And they said, and possibly as far out as 2023. The second big thing that I talked about yesterday was a huge announcement that Open Door, one of the huge iBuyers, is getting ready. They're just concluding a $4.8 billion merger, and they're about to go public now to raise even more money, which means this wouldn't be happening if the market for real estate wasn't bullish. And confirmation of that is that builder sentiment, which remember, builders, if they're bullish, they have to be bullish not about next month, but about next year, because by the time they get plans, permits, and builds, it's a year out before they deliver the product to the market. So they have to be confident that the long runway is good. So if you put all those things together, and then you look at the trends that Don and I were just talking about, when would now be a good time to start taking action on all of this stuff? Which is why, we announced that we're going to start holding some entrepreneur workshops, and we're going to talk about some of the trends that are going on, the opportunities that are out there, and how we can help and consult you no matter what business you're in. If you're in the salon business, I want you to come to our workshop. If you're in any business, I want you to come to the workshop, because you're going to get, these are free workshops. We're going to do a series of 4. After that, there's no guarantee that we're going to do that one again. But if you want to sign up and you want to join that, then go to automaticlandlord.com, and in the comments where you can send in a comment, just say, sign me up for the 4-part series. And then we will give you the information on how to connect on our Zoom, which will begin in a week or 2 on Thursday, right after this show. So it really all depends when my friend Don decides to come back to base, because right now he's enjoying the good life, the RV life, on his brand new 40-foot RV. And he and I have been trading, research on RVs. I mean, what better time when we're all working remote? So it really doesn't matter for many of us where we do our work from, when most of what we can do is done this way, via telephone, via internet connections, via Skype, via Zoom, and all these other ways. So Don, you're in Virginia. How long are you going to be there for?
I'm here until Monday evening. I'm back to Pennsylvania and just keeping it cracking, right? So it's pretty good. Ironically enough, there too, what we can share with people is some of the things that you and I have come across. That so many people are on here in real estate. How you and I have been connecting lately, because obviously you and I own real estate all kinds of different places. We're entrepreneurs in several different realms.
Yep.
But also, I didn't realize how big the RV real estate world has become. So we can throw some of that stuff in there too when we do our workshops.
Yeah. In fact, the last time when I went RVing, what's really cool is that when you pull in some of these, there are people that are sort of passing through, short-term vacations, and then there are people that are either regulars that are coming through, or they are more stationary. But it's a community, and they help each other out, and it's really a really nice bonding opportunity. Yeah, we can definitely talk more about that as well.
Super interesting, and just a really neat lifestyle for people to do. I mean, I love the outdoors and those types of things. And it's one of my passion projects. I have a nonprofit that's about outdoors that I really love to help with veterans, wounded and disabled veterans, getting their kids, giving them outdoor experiences. So it's just a great, fun, dynamic thing. But hey, listen, when you can become financially successful and you can position yourself in front of all these trends we were talking about, really leverage that. It allows you to do more of those things that you'd like to do out of service versus because you have to do it.
And so what you're saying, and you know, firsthand is basically what, you know, when someone says it's a lifestyle business, this real estate entrepreneurship is a lifestyle business. And here's the one thing that I want to leave everybody with today. You know, I posed a question about what is your dash going to be? Are you going to settle for a mediocre dash, or is your dash going to be an exclamation point? You see, life begins at the edge of your comfort zone. It's not inside your comfort zone that you're going to have these kind of RV experiences, traveling long distance. You know, Eric and I today were talking about spending some time in Brazil, but be able to continue all of our work. You know, right now I've got a job going, a rehab going on in Fort Lauderdale and one in Houston. And here I sit in Boca Raton. It doesn't matter where you are nowadays. The technology, the strategies are all laid out in front of you. So anyway, Don, enjoy the rest of your trip. Stay safe out there. Stay dry. Stay out of the rain. And thanks for coming on. We'll be back again here. Don and I will be back here next Thursday, but I'll be back here again tomorrow. Same time, same place. So until then, drive safe, wash those hands, and make it a great day. And God bless America.
Thanks for listening to the Real Estate Show.
Thank you.
By Capital One Group LLC in Boca Raton. Eric Willner and Ken.
Hey, Bonnie joined the house. Hey, Bonnie. My good old friend and neighbor across the street. So we had a pretty exciting little show today. And Brian, I hope you found what I was talking about. So if you go to Automatic Landlord you might have to scroll down a little bit, but there's a comment section and you just let us know there. That sends me an email letting me know that anybody left a comment or whatever it is. And all you have to do is let us know that you want to be part of our 4-part entrepreneur series. So with that, I am going to wrap it up here on our YouTube page first. Adios. Thank you. And see you again tomorrow.